guys, I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Mike.
This is Disney for Couples, where we talk about traveling to Disney World and Disneyland sometimes and Disney cruises sometimes as two adults without kids.
Yep.
Because Disney World is no place for kids.
It really isn't.
This is part two of a two-part podcast.
Yep.
Last week we started talking about hot takes and unpopular opinions in Disney World, and we're going to continue that today. We kind of ran over time last time, so we decided to split it up.
Do a little two-parter action, you know?
Yeah, so last week we talked about park-specific unpopular opinions, and we got a little bit into parks in general, and today we're going to start right where we left off.
All right.
So a lot of people complain about IP in the parks. IP, intellectual property, which means like instead of a new idea, like how a lot of Epcot is just a brand new idea, IP would be characters, like from movies. A lot of people complain when they add IP to certain parts of the parks. Our hot take is that it's not as bad of an idea all the time as some people would have you think.
It's not, and I also kind of think of it too. I think we've talked about this before, that Disney is like this massive umbrella of entertainment, and they have all of these acquisitions, they have all of this original stuff, and like, why wouldn't you want to use this enormous catalog that you have at your disposal to be able to pull more people into your parks?
Yeah, I feel like so much of Disney's IP is unique to them. It's not all takes on older stories that came before Disney. Some of it is completely new. So if they're putting something that they created into one of the parks, I don't think it's as unimaginative as some people would have you think.
Sure.
Let me try that word for the third time. Unimaginative.
Right. And like the Disney versions of, you know, the Snow White tale and the story of Pinocchio, that's like what pop culture knows. It's what the world knows. It's not, most of the world doesn't go the layer deeper to figure out the original where story. It came from.
Yeah, and like with something like, you know, the upcoming Monsters Inc. land.
Yes.
You know, or Galaxy's Edge or Toy Story Land. It's IP, but they've really done something with it that's perfect for the parks or created a new branch of whatever story they're telling. It's a lot different from how I see Universal put IP in the parks, with the exception of the Harry Potter sections, which I think are like Disney level.
Yeah.
Universal, to me, when I go, it feels like they just slap branding on stuff.
Yeah, it does. I've actually been thinking over the last couple of episodes about how critical I personally am of Universal. I'm going to try to back off a little bit, only because, like, I don't know. I feel like I need to be more vested in their, like, parks ecosystem before I'm judgmental.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be judgmental.
You can judge all you want.
When it comes to something like Cars coming into Frontierland.
Awesome.
We've been vocal about really not...
Can't wait.
Really not liking that idea.
Yeah.
But it's really not because of the IP part of it. It's because we don't think that Cars is good IP for Frontierland.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think so. Do you? It just doesn't feel like it fits at all.
It's kind of like I have a hot take to the hot take, which is that I would be okay with it if there already wasn't a Cars Land in DCA.
Yeah, that actually is not what bothers me about it. I love Cars Land in DCA. That's probably, that maybe next to Toy Story Land, that's my favorite immersive land of any of the Disney parks. I'm not going to say that Toy Story Land and Cars, is it called Cars Land? That they're my absolute favorites of the two Disney parks we're talking about, or Disney resorts that we're talking about. But I am crazy about Toy Story Land for the immersion, and I feel the same way about Cars Land. I love it there. I could spend like a half of a day just in that section. I don't mind that they're doing something Cars-y over in Disney World. I just don't think Frontierland is a good pick for many reasons, and it just feels like totally off base what that part of the park is supposed to be. I feel like they didn't really know what to do and didn't want to put a lot of time into figuring it out, or they just needed to get cars into Magic Kingdom, and this is what they decided. And either way, I don't like it.
Sure.
Okay, on to the next one. So you don't totally agree with me on this, and I'm going to try to not be super harsh.
Oh, dear.
But my hot take is that Josh D'Amaro did a bad job as a chairman of Disney Experiences. Now, I don't have my finger on the pulse of everything he did in that position. What I do know is that he was the head of Parks and Resorts. And during the years that we traveled to the parks and stayed at the resorts, when he was in charge, I thought there was a lot that had gone downhill, that was dirty, that was low quality, that was not well thought out, that needed very obvious improvements that could have probably been done very fast.
Sure.
And I feel like the quality went way down, and I can only blame him for that.
You know what I can give him a nice pat on the back for? Mm-hmm. This extends to, so much of Disney management, but I feel like the parks specifically did a nice job with COVID.
They did a great job with COVID. Yeah, we went to the parks during the thick of COVID. We were there during the most COVID-y time you could go.
When Walt Disney World was at 25% capacity per park.
Yeah, and we also went one or two times after that when they were still like partially dealing with COVID. They did a good job. And I think that in his position before he was CEO, Josh D'Amaro was also head of cruises, and I think that the quality of Disney cruises blows anything else out of the water. But I just don't.
Sorry, go ahead.
I wasn't super happy to find out that he was becoming CEO because I just don't. I just got the vibe when he was in charge of the parks that it was a lot more about presence and being seen and being recognizable than actually doing things that like would make very obvious sense or requiring the team under him and the teams under them to do it. Mm-hmm. But maybe now as CEO, if they get a new person into the parks, maybe that'll change.
Maybe. My like larger issue with his like tenure in the parks division was cleanliness, and we talk a lot about that. I feel like post-COVID, there wasn't really much of a reason to be unclean because they were so clean during COVID.
Right.
And now it's kind of like a new wave of unclean has taken over.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the things, especially the things that you can tell have needed a cleaning for a long time.
Yeah.
Like when we stayed at All Star, and that's part of our hot take, although we liked All Star, which is our hot take. But when we stayed there, so many of the rooms are above the humongous statues that are right next to the motel
buildings.
Floors.
Yeah.
And they're filthy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you can't sometimes get a pressure washer, like a person with a pressure washer up there.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Things like that. And the ride vehicles on a lot of rides are filthy, and the seats in some of the theaters there are really, really dirty. The Chinese theater, the carpeting in the walls were disgusting when we went.
Yeah. When your boat is returning from your ride on It's a Small World,
it's
that
so
little
bad.
load-in area, like where you load back onto the platform, is disgusting.
Terrible. Yeah, and some of this stuff isn't like, well, I know that every time there's a paint chip or something like that, they can't just have people come in, every single night and touch
of course
that kind of stuff up. I guess I don't really know how they do it, and I always think like, well, what if, to me it might look like they haven't done this in 5 years, and it's like, no, we do it once a month, and there's so much traffic in Disney World that it gets dirty.
Right.
But I don't think there's any excuse for why if you're in Magic Kingdom at noon, why the seats of Small World, why the boats that where you're sitting is just completely filthy. That's not a seat that was scrubbed the day before.
No.
So, and I think with what you're paying and what now, like what Disney is expecting you to do on a vacation, which is so much more than happily show up.
Yeah.
Like they have taken away so many niceties and they've added so many paid additions.
Yeah.
That to go and to not even have the like basics of like a clean park or a line without like food all over the ground or something.
Yeah, I know.
Not be up to snuff. Like I think that's whoever's in charge of the parks. Who else could you blame?
Sure. It's unfortunate, and I hope to see some like meaningful changes around all of that. On the flip side, I look forward to the revamps that they're doing with the My Disney Experience app. I know that I'm not usually the one that deals with that dashboard of crazy features and settings, but it sounds like they're trying to streamline things a bit for, people that really need to stay on top of that app if they're like coming to Disney for the first time or maybe the only time and they want to get in these experiences. Like it sounds like it's going to become easier to kind of have the vacation that you want to have with like the software that they're building.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm interested.
Like how they're enhancing their software.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the changes when we go in September because like you don't really know, even if you're like, sometimes I'm on the app playing around because I'm looking something up, but unless you're using it, it's, I wonder what they're doing. One of my biggest complaints about the app is that it's not as easy as it should be to find what is immediately important to you for the day. Like your lightning lanes, your meals. Like if you placed an order for food, it's like you have to, you shouldn't have to click 5 buttons to get there. It should be like right there.
So from what I've gathered based on like articles that I've read, that's exactly what they're zeroing in on.
Oh, that's good.
They're turning it into like your experience versus everyone's experience, and you're all using this app. Like, I mean, obviously everybody's using the app, but it sounds like it's going to be more like a checklist. There's going to be checklists. There's going to be what you were saying about the lightning lane. There's going to be a feature where you can like share plans with other people that you're taking a trip with. It sounds very good.
Oh, good.
I'm curious because they backed out of that deal with OpenAI, so they're not going to have that, or at least through that company. And I say that because I read that the app revamp is going to have an AI like feature. And I'm curious who's providing that. If it's not OpenAI.
Yeah.
Tell me, everyone.
Go
out listeners and
figure it out.
Tell me now.
Just tell Mike. I'm not as interested in it as Mike is.
Sorry, hon.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I didn't read anything about the app updates. I do. The reason I thought of that about specifically about like when you place a mobile order is because on this last trip, I noticed there were several times we did a lot of quick service this last trip. We almost had no sit down reservations, and we were staying at the resort, like at the Disney resort. So there was a lot of mobile orders. And like, if we would put a mobile order in and then go to check ride times, it was like, no matter how many times I did it, I had to try to kind of relearn how to get back to the mobile order that you're waiting for. And it's dumb. Yeah. Okay. So next, this is our last parks general hot take.
All right.
Our hot take, I think you agree with me, is that influencers and YouTubers in the parks are not as prevalent as people say they are.
We go all the time. I don't think I've seen one. You always tell me, and then I'm like, what? Where?
I feel like we have gone. We have gone a number of times since like the uprising of
influencers,
YouTube, especially influencers, because YouTubers would be the most obvious because it's not just a photographer or a person with the phone. Yeah. It's like them taking videos and talking into the camera. But I have heard so many complaints on Reddit, on all kinds of things with people just complaining about it and saying they're ruining the experience. Whenever we've gone, and sometimes we're like looking for influencers because we always want to run into the people we watch. We always want to.
I want to run into Paging Mr. Morrow.
Yeah, we want to see Nate.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we want to see Nate most of all, but we also are always like, I wonder if we'll see Tim. And before he passed, we always were kind of wondering if we were going to see
Mr. Wu.
Adam. Yeah. So we've kind of got like our eyes, looking for them. I think at most in a single day, I've only ever seen one. That doesn't mean they're not there, but they're not so, in my experience, they're not as obvious and in the way as you would expect if you listen to all the complaints online.
So I have a question for you as like a big fan of Instagram. Based on like what we just talked, like what you just talked about, how prevalent is that like influencer stronghold in the world of Instagram versus YouTube? Like, do you feel like there are more Instagramming Disney influencers than there are YouTubers?
I don't know, because I mean, a lot of YouTubers probably have Instagram, and a lot of Instagrammers probably have YouTube. Right. If there's a million Disney creators or Disney goers who are filming, whether or not they're technically an influencer or trying to be, there's a lot. But when you're there, maybe because there's so many people, maybe because you're always kind of moving, maybe because it's loud, or maybe a lot of these people who are filming, like, when we see people like Nate or Tim filming, they're conscious of being
watched.
No, they're conscious of being like out of the way. Like every time Nate is filming and unless he's trying to show you something, he's like somewhere where there's nobody.
He finds the many corners of Walt Disney World.
So, I mean, like a handful of times, in the last episode, I think we talked about how we were standing behind the like husband and wife who were influencers on the Gideon's line, recording for like half an hour, and the kids were running around like crazy, and they like weren't paying it. Yeah, that's annoying. But that's like, we have one of those stories in the number of times we've gone over the past several years.
And I'm sure there's layers of like, I say layers all the time, but I'm sure that there's layers of professionalism where, somebody that really is treating this as like the career path that they've chosen would probably operate in a much different way than someone who's starting up a channel or starting up a social media presence for Disney.
I wonder which one would be better. Honestly.
What do you mean?
Like, I wonder which of those two people which one would be more more reserved about it and like respectful of other people. Would the new person be too nervous to be right in the mix, or would they be trying so hard?
Yeah.
I wonder who would be who.
I don't know.
But that's just all to say that if, unless you're going to like one of those preview days where they're like specifically inviting creators, or you're going for day one of something, that everybody's going to be drawn to, that every creator out there has to make, the same video. There's probably 500 of the same video of the YouTubers filming the same thing because nobody has figured out a way to do it any different.
Oh my God, scooters on the right.
I mean, like these people who go and do this. Now, again, like we watch this all the time, so it's not like we don't like this corner of YouTube. But whenever we see a preview and we can see the person we're watching, so if we're watching Paging Mr. Morrow and he's filming, but it's an event where everybody else there is also a creator, they're all filming too.
Yep.
And I always say, especially if it's like a new place, like when they were showing the Disney Treasure and the Haunted Mansion Lounge,
or the Beacon Barrel,
nobody is looking.
Right, everybody's
They're just looking through their phone. They must miss so much. I don't know how you can like convey the experience if you yourself are not experiencing it.
You got to go with a team. I mean, at least 2 people so that, like, you know, there could be a point where someone's filming and you're absorbing and then you switch. Like, if we, you know, I don't think we want to do that, but if we did that, I feel like we're kind of naturally made for something like that, like a media event.
Yeah, I don't think the delivery is interesting anymore. There's so many videos of the same thing, and so many people are calling out the same things because they're the obvious ones, and nobody's looking at detail. I think that
look at the shirts.
I think that like a photo series of like I mean, how many things did we watch about the Disney Treasure Haunted Mansion Lounge, and they missed so many details. We only saw for the first time when we went because it was just like they showed all the same things. You know who has figured out a way to do it a little bit different? Offhand Disney, Dallin, because you almost never see him in the park. Every once in a while, you'll see him, like, what he is showing in his videos is him talking into the camera while he's in a park. He's usually walking from one place to another.
And he'll often do, like, he has that pull-down green screen, and I think he shoots a lot of footage on his trips, and then he uses that as his background while he's providing, like, recorded audio.
Yep. Yeah, so he can, like, go, you know, because he doesn't live in California or Florida, but he travels there all the time. He can go and experience it and take enough footage, or sometimes he uses other footage and credits it, and then he can show it so that you're not just looking at nothing, you know, which is what some channels do, which is you're looking at just the most boring B-roll imaginable. Or like stock footage practically, but he can show it so you have you know what he's talking about, but he has experienced it himself.
Right.
And he's talking to you in a video that's really been like created specifically to give you the idea. He's just so good. He's just really figured out how to like get that deeper level of experience that so many are missing. I mean, we did not intend for this to be a rant on YouTube creators who we love.
No. I think it's well worth it. I mean, if you're, you know, a Disney fan and you're in an adult couple that likes to have these Disney experiences, we highly recommend checking out the Offhand Disney YouTube channel. And he's been around for a minute, and his content, I hate that word, but like his videos just keep getting better and better, and like a little bit more obscure too as time goes on. If you're like a history nut for Disney stuff, definitely check out his channel. Yeah,
we're big fans.
Oh yes.
Okay. Next, we're on to resorts. We only have one hot take. This hot take is a little bit of a. It's a kind of an answer to a little bit of the Disney resort snobbery that goes around. And it's that the all-star hotels are perfectly acceptable hotels to stay in.
Yep.
We have stayed in 2. We've stayed in music and movies. It depending upon what kind of trip you're trying to have, they're perfect for that trip.
Just don't go when there are cheerleaders around.
Oh my God, there's always cheerleaders. They always have those like big groups.
Yeah. Try to figure that out.
You know, we have stayed at moderate resorts, luxury, you know, the deluxe resorts. We have really enjoyed all of them. But some people say like, I would never stay at an all-star. I would never stay at a budget hotel, which would be the 3 all-stars are the most budget of the budget hotels. And then there's like the Art of Animation and Pop Century, which are like pretty much on that level too. I
can say that Pop Century has the same room layout as the All-Star resorts for my based on my recollection.
Yeah, and even when you go up to the moderate resort level, the rooms are not that much different. They might be a tad bigger, they might be they might be more themed.
Sure.
But like you're not getting what you're paying for is the resort itself.
I will argue that our room at All-Star was better than our room at Port Orleans.
You're wrong. Incorrect.
Our room at Port Orleans was bigger. It was a bigger room and a bigger bathroom, but I bigger doesn't always translate to better.
Why did you think it was better at All Star?
I thought it was better at All Star because they took a small space and built a lot of accommodation into it. So there's a lot of storage, there's a lot of shelving, and I find that the bathroom in that like smaller space is just a bit more thoughtful. When I think about Port Orleans, that bathroom exists in like this weird nightmare space for me.
It was an odd bathroom.
Yeah.
It was big. Do you remember how it was like really,
huge.
really big, but it had that like weird.
It had the drain in the floor.
And
Yep. And they had the really big like blown up image of Princess and the Frog on the shower liner, but it was like too low resolution. Like they didn't get a big enough image file.
Yeah.
I don't know. I go ahead.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, the nice thing about the All Stars is that the rooms are so simple that they are cleaner. They they feel
Exactly.
cleaner. It reminds me of that little nothing motel we stayed in Disneyland twice.
Don't call it that. It wasn't nothing.
It was very simple. You would never look at that and think, I'm going to stay there. We found this motel right near Disneyland.
You keep talking. I'm going to look it up because we're going to call it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It had a little bit of a strange, you'll recognize it when you see it. We've been to Disneyland together twice. The first time we went, we were doing a very budget friendly trip. So we had to really be careful about where we stayed. And we found this like little motel. I found it on Airbnb, but it was like really a motel. It just happened to be listed on Airbnb, even though it wasn't like a home share thing. And, we read all the reviews and we like took a chance and we booked it. And this was one of the best days we've had. The people who owned it was like family owned. They were so nice. And the rooms, they were the cleanest hotel rooms I've ever stayed in.
Yes.
You could tell that they wanted to get the basics right. So they didn't clutter the room with a bunch of decor. There wasn't a ton of furniture, but there was absolutely plenty to like keep you like to have what you need. It wasn't like sparse or anything. It was just simple and as clean as you can imagine. And then when we went back a few years later, we were staying at that good friend,
like a partner hotel.
What's the name of those?
Disneyland.
It's like the good friend hotel,
I don't know.
good neighbor
Off the top
hotels
of my
or
head.
something.
Yeah.
That we found through the Disneyland website. This place was out of a horror movie.
It was hell.
It was disgusting. It was.
I wasn't disgusting.
It was horrific.
It was very like.
It was disgusting.
Disgusting?
Our room there were bugs.
Oh,
all
yes,
over. There
yes,
were
yes,
stains
yes.
everywhere. It was terrible. And
she's correct. It was disgusting.
We checked in and immediately I was like, well, we're either going to find another room or we're going to go home. Like from California, we're going to fly back to New York. We're going to end our trip early. And we got in touch with that motel and we were like, is there any way we can check in like tomorrow? Because it was like 11 o'clock at night and we stayed there again and same thing, like clean as can be.
Yep.
I'll find the name of it.
Yeah, we're going to put that in the show notes for this episode because if ever you and yours take a trip to Disneyland in Anaheim, California, you 100% have to stay here. This is a fantastic, I don't even want to call it a motel. I literally think motel is in the name, but it's far more than that.
Just give me 1 second. I'll find it.
Sure. I'll talk to the people. Let's think. Oh, so today I was doing a little bit of reading, and it seems that the Monstropolis area that's being built right now in Hollywood Studios is going to make use of the Pizza Rizzo space that used to be there as part of Muppetland. And for any fans of Muppet Courtyard, how it used to be, it also sounds like they might be keeping the upstairs space in Pizza Rizzo. So you might still be able to walk up the stairs. I think that like disco ball and all of that theming is gone.
Oh, yeah, it was like a prom.
A wedding.
Yeah.
I believe was, but I think that they're still hanging onto that, and that makes me happy. You know.
They're keeping the building that Pizza Rizzo was in. Is that what you're saying? In New Monstropolis.
Right.
And they're going to salvage the upstairs?
I think they're salvaging most of the building.
Ah.
Yeah. I
wonder what it's going to be.
I was reading a Blog Mickey article earlier today. Great website. If you guys are looking for Disney information, blogmickey.com. And the site curator was able to go on like a hard hat tour and was in Pizza Rizzo, and like it was, being worked on, but it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something.
Okay, so to wrap that up, that's just to say that depending upon what kind of trip you want to have, staying at an all-star is perfectly fine. You're not going to get the same kind of resort experience as at a moderate resort. There's like the main building, the cafeteria, the gift shop, and like that's kind of it. There's a pool overrun with kids, but if you're going to be in the park, we've stayed there for short trips when we've gotten a really good deal. We'll look and we'll be like, all right, we want to go to Disney for 3 nights or 4 nights. We want a lot of park time. We know we're not going to have time to be hanging around the resort. When can we go? And we've gotten a room for as low as $100 a night. Yeah,
you can get some really aggressively wonderful deals on like those all-star resort rooms, especially as the year goes on. Keep your eyes peeled for stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, next up, food. This is kind of quick fire because there's not too much to say about these other than the obvious, but churros and Mickey pretzels, totally overrated. And let me just say, it doesn't matter if you're in Disney World or Disneyland. We've had churros and Mickey pretzels in both. They're not good. The churros are fine. I don't see anything special with them. I'm also not like a fried dough fan. But you are a fried dough fan?
I love fried dough.
You don't care about the churros.
They need to be hotter. I was just thinking of it now, and like, what would I change? I think they just need to be like piping hot, and then they need to have, I wouldn't even change the sauces that go with them. I just find that a lot of the time when you get one, it's almost like basically stale. Yeah.
I did have that churro cookie that I fell in love with at the bakery in Disneyland that I got like every night when we were there. That was delicious. And Mickey pretzels, not that good, guys. Those are like suck. one of the least good hot pretzels you can get, honestly, anywhere. The cheese is crummy that goes with it. Get a Bavarian pretzel either from
Baseline Tap House,
right, or Fake Germany.
Yeah,
in Epcot.
Whenever you're about to get a Mickey pretzel, because they look so cute when you see them in their little container at the stand, tell yourself, I respect myself, I respect my family, and
I
my
deserve
friends,
more,
and I deserve better. I'm telling you, go to Baseline Tap House.
Yeah, Baseline is my favorite pretzel on Disney property.
Totally.
In general, the food in Disney is just not that good. Like it is
good.
It tastes good sometimes. We love the food. We love the food in Disney. Part of the traveling to Disney World is eating. Like that's part of it's finding things you can only get there that you really like, that you look forward to. But in general, Disney World is not known for having gourmet level food
meals
everywhere.
Yeah,
there are some restaurants that are great.
Oh yeah.
We love Via Napoli and Fake Italy in Epcot.
Yep.
That's not a Disney run restaurant.
Sure. Yep.
But some of the food is really, really good. We definitely have had great things there. But in general, this is not a place to go if you're a foodie looking for gourmet. Disney food is higher price than it should be for what you get. It's just, don't set your expectations incredibly high.
No. If you're a foodie, Six Flags is where you want to be.
Oh my God.
With the broken,
definitely don't do that.
With all the broken vending machines.
Disney is gourmet compared to that. And my last food hot take, and I think you'll agree with me because we only had these at the same time, but the summer house cookies, which most people say they love, especially compared to Gideon's, are at best fine.
I think
mine were inedible. They tasted like something was wrong with the recipe.
I'm going to go on record with the word suck. I just am not, I think I need to use that because I've had I've had mediocre chocolate chip cookies, and that wasn't really even a mediocre chocolate chip cookie. It started good, and then it starts getting bad very quickly. Gideon's all the way. I do not support summer cookies.
Summer house cookies.
Whatever.
Yeah. I just had like a sugar cookie, and I'm telling you, I don't think I didn't like the cookie. I think there was something wrong with it. Like they used something.
They put crayons in
wrong.
yours.
Like something was wrong with it. Yeah. Okay, we're coming up to the end. We're on to transportation. We only have one hot take, and that is that the Skyliner is overrated, and we only kind of agree with ourselves on that.
Yeah.
Here's why I say it. Can I make my
ahead.
case? Now, I really like the Skyliner. I like that it's an option. We have ridden it a number of times. It is a nice alternative to having to wait on a bus, to having to walk if you're staying close enough to a park to walk and you can get on the Skyliner instead. Like, it's nice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But like when we were staying at Beach Club, you could take the Skyliner from the Beach Club to Hollywood Studios, or you could walk.
Yep.
So, and like we walked
Most of
we
the
did
time.
both actually.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that it's there. But if you're looking for a joyride or like a just fun experience, the Skyliner can be a little hit or miss with how enjoyable it is. Sometimes you're stuck in there and it's crowded because you're with like another family. It's not like a Disney. It's not like some Disney rides where they let you go by yourself. You're like with other people.
It's like a Disney bus in the sky, but less accessibility.
It's hot.
Yep.
It's slow.
Yep.
It can take a long time to get where you're going.
It'll stop.
It's transportation.
Yeah.
It's like the monorail.
Yeah.
The monorail is fun. You might want to hop on the monorail because you almost think of it as like a glorified ride. But it's crowded. It's hot. It's going to be, there's going to be a lot of people on it. It's going to kind of take a while to get where you're going.
Yep.
So in terms of people who just think that the Skyliner is almost like another Disney ride, I'm going to say that it's overrated in that way.
Yeah. Just look at it from afar.
Okay, merch. We only have 2 hot takes and you don't agree with my first one.
Cool.
I think Spirit jerseys are not
Overrated.
good-looking shirts.
Oh.
I don't think that they're good-looking.
One.
Yeah, you love yours.
I do.
You have a classic
Disneyland
black and white
Spirit
Disneyland
jersey.
one. I like yours.
Yep.
I have never been enticed to buy one. I don't think that they're great-looking shirts.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that they feel good, although I have heard people say they're super comfortable.
Yeah.
They don't like how the fabric feels to the touch. I don't think they're a flattering shape. I almost never, as creative as the designs are, I really have never seen one that I'm like, oh, I want that one. Okay. I just don't. I'm not into
That's
them.
Okay.
Hot take.
That's okay. That's why it's a hot take.
Okay.
And you're on your little island all by yourself.
Last one.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Now I know you agree with me on this.
All right.
The best shopping in Disney World is not at the main stores like you would think. It's not at the Emporium or Creations or World of Disney. Where is the best Disney souvenir shopping in Disney World?
Inside each of the boutique shops in World Showcase at Epcot.
100%. The Disney souvenirs that you can buy in the countries in the World Showcase, you can only buy in those countries. You're really not going to find it almost anywhere else ever. They do change the collections, so when you go back, you might see a new collection. I think that those gift shops just have the cutest Disney merch.
It's incredible.
Compared to any of the other gift shops, even the big ones and the more popular merch.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that that's the best shopping in Disney World.
Definitely. And there are some big stores there, too. That merch shop that they have in China is enormous. Canada is big. They have a couple. Do they have a couple of shops in Germany?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the one that does like the cuckoo clocks, and it's more Christmas ornament themed. Am I right?
There's an ornament shop.
Yeah.
So in all of the countries, you can find gift shops that have like gifts from that country, and you can also find Disney souvenirs themed to the country.
Yes.
So whether you're looking for just shopping or you're looking for Disney shopping, I think that the World Showcase shops are the best.
I agree. 100%.
Okay, that does it. Hot takes, unpopular opinions.
Yeah.
No more Mickey pretzels. Down
No.
with Mickey pretzels.
No. If you see a Mickey pretzel and you go, I know they said no, but but look at it. Just don't do it. Just
don't do it. They're like
honor
$20.
honor your blood, honor your ancestors, and go to Baseline.
How much do you think a Mickey pretzel is? I think a Mickey
$12.
pretzel is $8.
$12.
Do you think it's? I
I'm
think
kidding.
it's $8.
I think about $8.
Six, maybe 8 with the
$8 with the
terrible cheese,
with the crayon cheese.
with the plastic cheese, like they call it on Disney Food Blog.
Yep.
Plastic cheese. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for listening,
Thanks, guys.
Check out DisneyForCouples.com for more content like this. Shop for waterproof vinyl stickers for your water bottle and magnets now for your Disney Cruise door decor at Magical Sticker Store on Etsy. That's where our full inventory is right now. All of these links you can find in the show notes.
And how do you get in touch with us?
Hello at DisneyForCouples.com.
Talk to us, guys. We want to just talk to us. We want to know like what stuff you want us to cover, what stuff you like, what you don't like. Tell us whatever you want.
If you could leave us a review, that would be amazing. I don't think we have any reviews yet. We're still a little baby podcast.
We're a tiny little insignificant nothing podcast.
That would be great. So thanks again, and remember to stay young at heart like what we want.
Bye, guys.
Bye.